Absolutely. Here's a powerful and emotionally intense opening, written in the style of Eric Thomas, designed to grab attention, spark curiosity, and convince your audience to stay locked in for the entire speech, titled How to Observe Anyone Without Saying a Word. Yo, I need your attention right now. Don't blink, don't move, don't scroll, because I'm about to give you something that nobody taught you in school. Something your parents didn't even know how to teach you. You've been out here listening to people's words, trusting everything they say, but missing everything they show you, and that's why you keep getting played. That's why you keep ending up disappointed. That's why the same cycles keep repeating in your life, cause you don't know how to observe. Listen to me, real ones don't speak first. They study, they watch, they feel. I'm not talking about being paranoid. I'm talking about being powerful. When you learn how to see through people without them ever saying a word, when you learn how to read energy, how to decode body language, how to detect truth in silence, you unlock a weapon most people never even realize they have. You've been manipulated because you trusted the smile. You believed the hype. You fell for the handshake and the sweet talk, but you never paid attention to the way they flinched when you succeeded. You never caught the hesitation in their eye when you spoke your vision out loud. And I'm telling you today, that ends right now. This ain't about becoming cold. It's about becoming clear. You want peace in your life. Learn to observe. You want power in your circle. Learn to watch. You want to stop being betrayed. Stop ignoring the signs. Everything you need to know about a person is already in front of you. If you just shut your mouth, sharpen your focus, and stay still long enough to see it. So if you're tired of getting blindsided, if you're tired of being loyal to the wrong people, if you're tired of chasing potential instead of reading the truth, then sit up, lock in, and do not miss a second of what I'm about to give you. Because the moment you master this, your whole life changes. Let's go. Everybody out here is trying to master communication by talking more. They think if they just say the right thing, if they come up with the perfect words, the most convincing sentences, the most rehearsed speeches, they'll get ahead. But listen to me closely. You don't learn people by what comes out of their mouth. You learn people by what comes out of their presence. Before you ever hear a word, you better learn to read the room. You better learn to catch the shift in energy when they walk in. You better notice who controls the space without opening their mouth and who shrinks even when the spotlight's not on them. People can fake words, they can lie with their lips, but they can't fake energy. They can't fake posture. They can't fake the way their body leans back when they feel exposed, or the way they tighten up when you speak truth, and you can't keep ignoring it. You can't keep dismissing your instincts like they're just gut feelings. No, that's your spirit reading what your eyes can't. That's your awareness sounding the alarm. You gotta stop being so thirsty for validation that you ignore the vibration. They smiled at you, so you thought they liked you. But did you feel their energy? Did you notice how their eyes never matched their mouth? How their words were saying one thing, but their body was telling on them? See, when somebody's really with you, you feel safe. You feel anchored. You feel seen, but when it's fake, your chest tightens up. Your energy starts shrinking. That's not paranoia. That's precision. That's awareness. Some of y'all have been walking into rooms and giving your all to people whose energy screamed, "I don't deserve you." From the moment they met you, but because they said the right thing, you gave them access, and now you're sitting in regret, not because you didn't know, but because you didn't listen, you didn't observe. You didn't pause long enough to see what your spirit was trying to tell you. You want to protect your peace. Learn to read energy before you ever trust words. Watch how they move around people they don't need. Watch how they treat the waiter. Watch how they sit when nobody's looking. You've been trained your whole life to listen to people's words, but you were never taught how to look. I'm not talking about just seeing somebody. I'm talking about studying their eyes. You want to know who a person really is. Don't listen to their voice. Don't get caught up in their tone. Look them in the eye. The eyes will tell you everything. The confidence, the insecurity, the jealousy, the fear, the truth they're trying to hide, and the lies they're trying to sell. The mouth speaks what the brain rehearses, but the eyes reveal what the soul is carrying. You ever told somebody about your goals and saw that flicker, that little moment when their smile didn't match their eyes? That wasn't nothing. That was everything. That moment told you they're not happy for you. That moment told you they're intimidated. That moment told you your dream made them feel small, and instead of supporting you, they're secretly hoping you fall. But you missed it, because you were listening instead of watching. You heard them say, "I'm proud of you," but if you would have looked close enough, you would have seen the hesitation, the discomfort, the envy. Their mouth clapped for you, but their eyes exposed them. You want to protect your purpose? Then you better stop ignoring the truth that's staring you right in the face. People can rehearse words. They can fake emotions, but the eyes don't lie. That's why real ones don't just listen. They look. They study. They watch how a person's eyes move when something deep is said. They notice the shift when accountability shows up. They see how eyes twitch when fear gets exposed. That's how you know if someone is aligned with you or just acting like they are. Look, when somebody loves you, really loves you, their eyes don't flinch when you talk about growth. Their pupils don't shrink when you speak success. They lock in, they light up, they match your intensity because your elevation fuels their spirit. But when somebody's pretending, when they're only around because they're comfortable with your current level, the moment you start growing, their eyes start shifting. They don't know how to hide it because truth always leaks out of the eyes. And it's not just about catching hate, it's about catching intention. You want to know if somebody's serious. You want to know if you can build with them. Look at how they hold your gaze when you talk vision. Do they look away? Do they get nervous? Or do they lean in with clarity and conviction? Do they meet you with fire? Or do they get quiet because your confidence exposes their comfort zone? You don't need a long conversation to figure people out. You just need to watch. Just be still, be silent, and look them in the eye. People are constantly telling you who they are without saying a word. This is why you keep getting caught off guard. This is why betrayal keeps surprising you. Because you're listening to what people say, but you're not paying attention to what their spirit is screaming through their eyes. They said they were loyal, but their eyes told you they were calculating. They said they supported you, but their eyes told you they were competing. They said they loved you, but their eyes said they were losing respect the moment you stopped needing them. You can't afford to keep missing this. Every setback you've experienced from trusting the wrong people didn't start with a mistake, it started with ignoring the signal. That moment right at the beginning when your intuition picked something up and your eyes saw something that didn't match their words. That was your warning, but you pushed past it. You gave them the benefit of the doubt. You listened when you should have looked, and now you're paying the price. Stop second, guessing what you see. Stop apologizing for noticing. Your perception is not paranoia. It's protection. Your eyes are connected to your discernment. And when you stop letting smooth talk override solid vision, you'll finally start moving with peace, power, and people who actually deserve your presence. Let the eyes tell the story, and let your spirit write the conclusion. You want to know who a person really is. Don't ask them. Don't interview them. Don't sit there listening to some perfectly crafted explanation of who they claim to be. That's all surface. That's all performance. You want the real version of someone. Watch them when the pressure hits. Watch them when things don't go their way. Watch their reaction, not their reputation. Because what people say is easy, but how they react when life shakes them up, that's where truth lies. See, we've been taught to pay attention to people's introductions. We get impressed by their presentation, the way they show up when everything's smooth. But that's not real. You don't see the real until something uncomfortable shows up. You don't see the real until you disagree with them, or challenge them, or outgrow them. That's when the mask slips. That's when the character walks out and the costume gets left behind. Some of y'all are getting hurt over and over again because you keep believing who people say they are instead of waiting to see who they become under pressure. But character ain't built in comfort. It's revealed in chaos. It's revealed when the plan doesn't work out. It's revealed when you win and they don't. You want to test somebody, succeed, just elevate. Just grow. Just become the version of yourself that you were born to be. And then watch. Watch how they respond when your light starts shining brighter than their comfort zone can handle. You think silence is awkward. You think conflict is uncomfortable. No, those are the tools. That's how people expose themselves. You don't have to dig. You don't have to accuse. All you have to do is observe. Let people talk when they're emotional. Let them act when they're frustrated. Let them react when they feel overlooked or outpaced. That's when the truth surfaces. That's when you find out if that support was real or just strategic, if that loyalty was genuine or just transactional. Watch how they handle correction. That's a test most people fail, and they don't even know they failed it. You tell somebody the truth, you give them honest feedback, and suddenly the energy shifts. They get defensive. They get quiet, or worse, they get distant. That's not growth, that's ego. That's pride stepping in and screaming louder than maturity ever could. And if you're not watching closely, you'll miss it. You'll think you just had a disagreement, when in reality, their inability to be corrected just told you everything you needed to know. Look, it doesn't matter what someone says about commitment. It doesn't matter what they say about integrity. You want to know their values. Watch them in the moments that don't benefit them. Do they keep their word when nobody's watching? Do they show up when it's inconvenient? Do they stay true to you when you have nothing to offer them in return? That's real. That's character, and the only way you find it is by watching. Not listening, watching. You've been clapping for people who clapped for you first, but you didn't see what happened when you weren't looking. You didn't see how they rolled their eyes when you walked out the room. You didn't catch how quiet they got when you announced your win. That reaction, that subtle shift, that was more honest than any compliment they've ever given you. And it's time you stop ignoring it. Stop mistaking words for truth. Start giving weight to reactions, because the real ones, listen to me, the real ones will celebrate you in public and private. They'll correct you with love, not pride. They'll stay consistent whether the spotlight's on them or not. And when things go wrong, when the pressure rises, when the challenges come, you won't have to question their loyalty. You'll feel it. You'll see it. Because real ones don't fold when it's hard. They don't get quiet when you shine. They don't shift up when you grow. You want to win in life. Learn to stop falling for performance. Stop falling for potential. And start trusting patterns. Because in the end, reactions speak louder than rehearsed speeches. And they never lie. Most of you don't see what's really going on around you because you're too busy trying to fill the silence. Every time you feel a pause, you panic. Every time it gets quiet, you rush to say something. But let me tell you something. Silence is your superpower. Silence is not weakness. It's not awkwardness. It's not emptiness. It's clarity. It's control. And if you really want to observe people, if you really want to see their truth without them even realizing it, you've got to learn how to sit in silence and watch the world unfold. When you talk, you give energy, but when you listen, you gain it. And I'm not just talking about hearing what people say. I'm talking about listening to what they don't say, listening to the breath between their words, watching how they squirm when there's no noise to cover up the truth. Silence exposes people in ways conversation never will. Some of y'all have never really seen the people closest to you because you've never stopped talking long enough to let them show themselves. But trust me, if you give it time, if you stay still, the mask always slips. Most people are uncomfortable with silence because they've got something to hide. They need the noise. They need the distraction. But when you get silent, when you stop feeding the atmosphere, they start unraveling. That's when their real intentions leak out. That's when you start noticing the fake laugh, the nervous eyes, the forced compliments. All the stuff that was hidden behind the charm, the smooth talk, the empty affirmations. It starts bubbling to the surface when there's nowhere to hide. You've got to understand, silence doesn't just help you see others. It helps you see yourself. Some of you are scared of silence because you don't want to face what's inside of you. You keep filling your life with noise, with people, with distractions, because the quiet makes you look in the mirror. But that's where your strength is. That's where you sharpen your observation. That's where you build your discernment. When you learn how to be silent, you stop reacting. You stop jumping to conclusions. You start watching. You start decoding. You start picking up things that most people miss. And the best part is, people don't know how to hide from silence. When you stay quiet, they start over-explaining. They start performing. They start projecting. You don't even have to do anything. Just nod. Just listen. Just wait. And they'll hand you the truth without you ever asking for it. Because people are always telling on themselves. You just have to stop interrupting the confession. You want to protect your peace, then stop trying to impress everybody. Stop trying to fix everybody. Stop trying to prove yourself in every conversation. Just be quiet, walk in the room, and let your presence do the talking. People will tell you everything about themselves when they don't know what you're thinking. When they can't read you, they start showing you who they are. You ever notice how people start shifting when you don't respond the way they expect? When you stay calm instead of emotional, when you stay still instead of defensive, that's power, that's control, that's observation in action. You're not reacting. You're calculating, you're learning. You're seeing who's real and who's pretending. This isn't about playing games. This is about protection. This is about awareness. This is about learning how to sit in your stillness and let people disqualify themselves before they ever get close enough to do damage. Because when you move in silence, you move in strength. When you observe without reacting, you stop being manipulated. You stop being fooled. You stop giving your heart to people who haven't earned the right to hold it. So stop running from the silence. Embrace it. Use it. Let it be your shield. Let it be your microscope. Let it be your test, because silence has never lied to you. It's always been the place where truth gets loud.